Yo, what's good, guys? What's up? You already know who it is. Your boy wqqqqwrt, part of the WQ world. You know, I'm a super alpha. I'm not like these regular clowns. I'm on top of the herd. It's nothing new for me. You know, that's how I roll. That's how I do that here. And I'm on High Street, guys. I'm on 20th and High Street right now, actually, and we're looking around these houses and we're goofing around, and I have actually been destroying in the speedrun lately. That's about it, guys. Let me tell you though, because it's not so simple as that I'm just the best and I'm winning and I'm creating new ideas, and actually every single one of my theories has been correct. Every single one. I always postulate a hypothesis every time. That's what I do, right? I just came up with some idea. Like, I have an idea. I have a hypothesis, and let's test it out, right? Because that's the point of a hypothesis. You can test it. Right? It's like 5th grade math. So that's what I do. I come up with an idea. I'm like, let's test it, right? Every single idea I've tested is correct. Every single one. Which is interesting. It's like after like 10 or 20 or 30 ideas, and they're all correct. Well, I come up with another idea, you know, it's probably going to be correct too. Well, I just came up with an idea that's completely correct, and it's making me wonder, you know? So like, for example, guys, I came up with, no, I don't reset, right? I don't reset. I'm the only speedrunner that doesn't reset. And it's not because some random reason. I'm the only speedrunner that doesn't reset is because I'm the only one that's smart enough to not reset. The thing about resetting is it's very difficult to reset or not, right? It's difficult to not reset. So when people want to reset, because their ego says, I need to reset because I need to pretend I'm better than I am, and what's the best way to pretend you're better than you are? You know, ignore the losses. So that's when people reset. They make a mistake and like, hey, whatever. The next one will be good, right? And people are so stupid, and they're all, the problem is, you get 100 people doing that together. 91 of them, me, I don't reset, right? But then the 99 of them all will tell each other that he's wrong and you're right, and resetting is good. That's what they all say to each other. And so they all convince themselves that they're good, right? Because it's their ego. It's the same reason they're resetting, right? It's their ego. So I have no ego, right? Because I don't reset. I have no ego. So I move on. I don't care. You know, 99 people out of 100 can slam on me, can trash talk me and make fun of me, and you know, like really go at me. And then of course they block me when I dish it back. That's fine, because they're stuck in a real life reset loop. I'm not, though. I don't get stuck in reset loops. I don't reset. But it's interesting because when I initially said, okay, I'm not going to reset, what I did is I acknowledged the fact that I couldn't not reset. I had to reset. And then I created beliefs that would lead me to not reset. Right? And this is all planned. I mean, this is all prepared and planned. I created the beliefs, and then I was like, let's test it out. Let's see if this is as powerful as I think it is. Well, 4 months later, I still haven't reset. I still have no inclination to reset it, no intention to reset. And everyone else who tried out to not reset, they've all failed. You know, none of these people succeeded. How many people will say, all right, time to do no reset run, and then they reset about 5 minutes in, right? Well, I don't even say I don't do no reset run. I just don't reset, ever. So, but that's interesting because I came up with an idea, I tested it out, and what happened? It was completely correct. Okay, cool. So, and that's the thing, that's the theme. Every time I use logical arguments to find an idea and test an idea, they're all correct every single time. It's correct. Every single time. Natural gameplay, completely correct. What happened after I came up with natural gameplay? Got it with 2339. Okay, completely correct. Macro natural gameplay. Completely correct. Completely correct. Actually, this video is about macro natural gameplay. It's about trying. Because trying is an unconditional process. This is so powerful. It's so powerful, and I've been testing it. I've been testing out unconditionally trying macro natural gameplay. I've been trying it out. It's completely as powerful as I thought it was. So yeah, of course, hold up guys. Of course, macro natural gameplay was correct. It was completely correct, of course. Of course. Hey, who are you talking to? You know who you're talking to. Of course it's correct, right? So it's completely correct. And macro natural gameplay is completely changing the game. And it's more interesting too because I actually claimed that macro natural gameplay, the only way to attain it or to understand it was not through reasoning and logic necessarily, but it was actually through doing no reset runs. Because what happens is every time you finish a run, it's a natural solution to the game. It's a complete solution to the game, right? Therefore, it's a natural solution to the game. This is really important because what happens is people actually can't finish runs in a lot of circumstances. They don't know how to finish runs. And that's why they reset, right? So every time you reset, under natural circumstances, you're not finishing the run. So whenever you force yourself to finish the run and you don't reset, and you don't have to force yourself, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because every time you finish the run, it's a complete solution. Why does any of this matter? It's anxiety. And I mean, go back to my vlogs, guys. Remember when I was talking about anxiety? I'm like, oh, there's this big thing called anxiety. It's huge. It changes everything. Like, everything's different now. Yeah, this is in June. I mean, it's not that long ago. Well, it's anxiety makes all this relevant because if you could just mechanically complete the game or not, you'd have complete understanding of it, and there'd be no such need for macro natural gameplay. In fact, there'd be no need to do a natural solution, a complete solution of the game. Like, it's irrelevant, right? But the anxiety thing is very real, and so suddenly, and that's why people reset. Nobody resets because it's like the most efficient option. That's complete bullshit. Anybody says that is lying to you. They're lying to themselves. They're trying to look good. Now, people reset is because it's an anxiety thing, right? It's a combination of anxiety and their ego. Actually, well, we'll call it ego. Anxiety leads it, and this is what's interesting because I said natural gameplay is a solution to the human ego. Natural gameplay is a solution to the human ego, not through a direct solution. It's the solution to the human ego. It circumvents it, but it still solves the problems that the ego brings. Natural gameplay solves. The ego itself doesn't go away. The ego always exists, but the problems are solved, and that's what natural gameplay is, right? And so that's exactly what's happening. Through natural gameplay, I was able to start resetting. The problems of the ego, the resetting, the ego's still there. The ego's still there. The problems go away though. Wait a minute, this was a prediction I made in January and it completely came correct. Back in June, actually came correct in March and then June, and then right now again, and every time in between. Completely. So back in May, I came up with this idea called natural tryharding, and I said natural tryharding is like basically the solution to winning. Which a lot of people want to, like people play games, it's not to have fun. No one does that. That's bullshit. The reason people play games is because they want to win. They want to become winners. If you're a winner, you're king of the world. People just give you money. And give you money, women will fall to you. Your peers they'll suck your nuts, and they will never combat you, right? So everybody's trying to be a winner. Well, how do you be a winner, right? So that's how people play games, right? And so what a lot of people like Ethan, a lot of these people, what they do instead of actually winning and actually learning and failing, they pretend they're good, right? Some people pick easy speed runs and then they get a world record in the easy speed run and they pretend they're amazing. And they don't necessarily do it on the outside a lot of time. A lot of time it's all up here. And see people like Ethan who pretend he's really good, right? Ethan wanted to pretend he's amazing speedrunner. So what he did is he picked a game. I mean, DKC, it's a competitive game. There's history, there's tricks in there. It's not that's not completely free. So yeah, he picked a game, but at the time he was playing it. No other top players were active. Other top players, Gary, not that good. Peachy, come on. So it's not the biggest challenge in the world, and well, that's fine. That's fine. We're not all gods. We're not all gods. You got me, but not all people are gods. So that's fine. But the problem is that he pretends that he's amazing because of that. And here's the interesting thing. This is what's interesting because you guys think it's a problem for me. It's not a problem for me, actually. It's a problem for him because it gets stuck in his head. And this is the ego problem, right? This is what happens when people's egos take control and they start doing stupid shit and they refuse to learn. They stop learning. That's the real problem. I don't care about these tools. Ethan's one of a million. There's a lot of people like this. Everybody in Link Past I've met, most speedrunners, most Melee players, most League of Legends players. Like, I've played games my long life, guys, a long time, and I've seen a lot of people who they're not interested in improving. What they're interested in is looking as good as they can, pretending they're the best, you know. And if it means that I could have done it, if it means I have a lot of potential, then they'll do it. If it means that they could have done it, if the circumstances were right, yeah, that's good enough, you know, because they could have been the best, right? But no, it's just bullshit, right? It's complete bunk. And I mean, it's unfortunate. So that's you know, that's unfortunate. People are like that, but people are like that, right? So that's what people do. That's what people do to look good. Now, they're not winners. What the hell? These guys are losers. They're losers. They're skysing. They're losers in a winner, a soft shell taco. And they got this soft winner shell, and they're losers on the inside, right? They're not winners. But real winners, people love winners, and winners, obviously, I mean, winners succeed in society. They're winning, right? So, not to try harding it's a secret to beat a winner. And this is a theory of mine, right? This is a theory I created back in May or June, and I argued that the way to naturally try. See, back then I didn't understand tryharding as much, or trying. Back then I didn't really understand it as much. But my argument was that by doing natural solutions to the run, you would learn more about the run, right? Which is no reset runs. A coincidence, right? It's just a coincidence. So stop resetting. So I stopped resetting because it's a complete solution, right? Well, I stopped resetting because I do a run and I get really anxious and then I choke. And then I'd wonder, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That's anxiety. It's not a choke. It's not the result it's the cause. It's anxiety. Okay, that's interesting. So I stopped resetting, right? Well, the whole point of the no reset runs, the whole point is to it was to create natural tryharding, which is the goal of being a winner. That was the whole point. I didn't know anything about trying back then, but this is the whole point. Well, that was the theory I came up with in May. Wait a minute, it's October 13th, and it was completely correct, because yesterday I figured out the very first fundamental, maybe it was 2 days ago, instance of natural tryharding. The first one, it occurred to me. Actually, I think technically the first one occurred to me like a few weeks ago. I don't do the percent, but no, a more important one occurred to me, and I'll tell you what it is, guys, because it's really revolutionary, and it's taking something seriously. So, if you know, think about this, right? It's not necessarily the words; it's a concept behind the words. So, let's look at the concepts. One concept you have is taking something seriously. So I say, if you're taking something seriously, that means you're trying more. Are these true statements in concepts? Yeah, I think they're pretty true, right? I think if you're trying harder, that would entail taking it more seriously, right? So I think, and actually I realized that people who take things more seriously, they actually are more successful. It's a linear scale. It's a linear scale where the people at the top take it the most seriously. The people at the bottom don't take it very seriously at all, right? And then what happens is the people at the bottom say, oh, but I could be really good if I really made an effort, right? Do you see what's going on? They're not taking it seriously, and therefore they're not succeeding. That saying that is a product of itself, and this is why, if you have potential, it's completely meaningless. Because losing actually would create that idea. If you're winning, you're not creating that idea. So that statement that I have potential, I could be good, is completely bogus. And now it starts to go back to this whole excuses, ego thing. Oh, it really is as real as I'm saying it is. Interesting. So, what was I talking about, guys? What was I talking about? I was talking about some really good stuff. Oh yeah, taking it seriously, right? So the people at the top, this is why Korea is winning League of Legends. Because Korea takes the game more seriously. I thought it was the infrastructure is what made Korea so good. It's not. The infrastructure motivates the players, and the players try harder and they take the game more seriously on average. Therefore, they get better. So it's not actually infrastructure. The infrastructure leads it to it, but it's not the infrastructure. It's because they take League of Legends more seriously. There's more culture, right? And the culture leads to take it more seriously. Well, that's fucking good. So what are some simple ways to take a game more seriously? Because I'm actually arguing that taking a game more seriously fundamentally will get you better at the game, no matter what. No matter what the circumstances are. No matter how good or how bad you are, no matter what your competition, no matter what your limitations. If you take a game more seriously, in a vacuum, you'll get better at it. Over a long period of time. So this is natural tryharding. This is a simple way to try harder, and you'll get improved from it. And you'll improve from it. Well, what are some simple ways to take a game more seriously? I mean, this is simple stuff. Stop resetting. Well, you don't have to be like me and be a complete god and not reset ever. But, you know, don't reset when it's stupid. Don't force everyone to be a PB, right? You know, take practice more seriously. Don't read the chat every 3 seconds. You know, these are things that you can still read the chat. I'm all for that reading the chat, you know. I'm all for being super casual about your speedruns. That's something people don't realize. Like, okay, I'm good at speedrunning and I love speedrunning and I'm like a complete beast at it. I'm all for casual speedrunning, you know. I don't take it casually. I'm extremely serious about speedrunning, and like there's been a lot of drama lately about like people need to not take speedrunning so seriously. Well, these guys are all losers, by the way, and no winner has ever said that in their life, because it's just a stupid thing to say. But I'm super serious about speedrunning. I mean, I'm one of those people who say, hey, no, we do actually need to take it more seriously. There needs to be money. There needs to be more culture. There needs to be people, you know, no more splicing, no more, oh, I'm best friends with a splicer. Get these fuckers out of here, right? Get these clowns out of here. So, but I'm all for people casually speedrunning, because, you know, that's the thing. So wants to casually speedrun, I mean, go wild. I don't want to casually speedrun, so I don't casually speedrun. There's a lot of people who want to casually speedrun, like, go wild. I'm all for that. But the thing is, this is the difference. If you read the chat literally every 2 seconds and no one's in your chat, and you get one message every 30 minutes, and you're looking at the chat every 10 seconds. I do that. I know people. I know you guys are doing that. You know, I'm doing it too. No, you're not taking the run very seriously at all. It's a joke. I mean, what the fuck, guys? That's not serious. This is downtime death level. Let me say that. This is downtime death level seriousness. You know, why do you think that guy had to splice runs? He had to splice runs to get 3rd place. Because he's a clown, because he doesn't take the game seriously at all. He's a complete joke, he's a failure. And this guy is the epitome of, shit, I'm not good enough and I never will be, so I'll just make a fake run and pretend I am good enough. Hey, congratulations, dude. You've still accomplished nothing. So, that is, that's simple. That's simple. This is very simple. And I was thinking about it. Well, you can take gameplay more seriously. Like, you're in a run and you lose 10 seconds and you can rage quit and get mad and be a little baby, or you can, you know, just suck your gut, bite your lip, and say, all right, whatever. You know, I'm just gonna finish the run. What would somebody taking the game more seriously do? You know, think about this. And it's not just this. What if you go into a run and you need a goal split. You're +8 in your PB, it's halfway through the run, and Link in the Past is a hard run, guys. It's not like, oh, I can save a minute in the end split. No. Every split you can save about 5 seconds on. Some are good, some are bad. You're +8 and you run halfway through, right? And the anxiety hits. And what do people do? They force gold split because they want to be ahead. They want to save time in every split, and so they force a gold split, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not taking it seriously at all. Nobody who's serious about the run would do that, because that's stupid. Because if you can't get a gold split and you force a gold split, your run's over, right? If you can't get a PB because you get the wrong RNG, your run is over. Well, whatever, you know, not every run's going to be a PB. So who's taking it more seriously? It's the people who are not randomly forcing this bullshit, right? They're not randomly forcing things that can't happen. They're not over, you know, reacting to small stuff. They're actually making an effort. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is trying. They're trying, right? Of course. Well, it's by effect, it's trying. But the input, they're just taking the game more seriously, right? And anybody could do this. It's not difficult. So, and actually, I'm arguing that people who take the game more seriously, they get better proportionally. And it's not just the game, but it's the game, it's practice, and it's the gameplay too. People who take the gameplay more serious, they get better in the over a long period of time. They learn more about the game, and you do. You will. You learn more about the game. You get better at the game. You have more fun playing it. You're more motivated to play it, and you'll play it longer, and you'll get better at it. Shorter. You'll get better at it shorter, quicker. You'll play it longer. You'll have more fun, and everything will be better. You know. less anxiety, less physical stress in your body. I mean, this is real. Why do you think Armada wins so many tournaments? Why do you think Hungrybox wins so many tournaments, and yet Mango never wins? Occasionally Mango will win a tournament. Well, it's fucking obvious, you know? To me, it's obvious. Armada and Hungrybox take it seriously. They take the game very seriously. They take tournaments very seriously. Mango does not, you know? And it's okay, Mango will win 1 in every 12 tournaments, and he's okay with that, right? Because he looks good, right? That's the whole point, is to look as good as you can. You know, so if you win 1 in 12, well, I'm still winning, right? Haha, no, dude. It's not, that's how it works, right? Now, some people actually want to win 1 in 12 tournaments. They legitimately don't want to be the best. Like, all right, that's good, dude. But what if I say, instead of just being the best, dude, why don't you just improve, right? This is my whole original argument, right? This is the whole argument, the fundamental argument after gameplay. Just improve at the game. Actually, it's a fundamental argument I made a year and a half ago. A year ago and 4 months. When I started dramatically improving, I played in class for 4.5 years now. And the 3 years of that career, I never actually got better at the game. I'd get better times, but I never really got better at the game, right? And then one day I started thinking, I started creating real ideas, and I realized that if I improve, the only way I'm going to beat Zelda is if I improve at the game. I don't beat him, I improve at the game enough, and then I beat myself enough times, and then eventually I'll beat this time. By effect. That's what I said, early June I said that to myself, middle June maybe. Well, it's completely correct. That's what's happening, right? And that was my original theory. That was the first one, the first idea I had. Well, it's coming true now, because what am I saying now? I don't care about winning. I actually don't care about PBing. If people think I really want to get the record, I really care about PBing, I have no interest in it. Because it's a one-of. It doesn't mean you're a better player. If you get a PB, it doesn't mean you're a better player. It's irrelevant. You're halfway through your PB, and your mom, your dad, your family member says, hey, I need to go to the hospital. You need to drive me to the hospital. What will you do? You're halfway through a PB. All right, I'm not going to PB. Okay. And then the next day, you don't do the game. And the next day, you get better energy. So you never PB. Are you a worse player? Well, how are you a worse player? You know, but people will think this. So it's not true. I don't care about PBing. And the thing is, if I can become a better player, I'll eventually PB, right? So I'm interested in becoming a better player. That was my original idea. It's coming true. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this. If I take the game more seriously, I'll become a better player. Now, is that true? That's important. So the important question here is, if you try harder, will you become a better player? That's the important question, right? Because you could try all you want, but if you don't become a better player, what's the point? And that's what I've been making vlogs on, and that's, I think, an important battle, right? So, and actually, natural gameplay would argue, it would argue that the answer to that question is not relevant. It's how can you execute it? How can you execute trying that matters? It's not, is trying matter or not? So people will think, does trying matter or not? Should I try? Because I don't know if it matters or not. Therefore, I don't know if I should try. Therefore, I don't try, right? That's what they think. This is a lie. This is a trap. It's not true. Natural gameplay, what natural gameplay says is that, how do you execute? How do you execute on trying? That's what matters. And this is far more important, because the thing about trying is that it's completely unconditional. We know this. There's no reason to not try. It's also no one really knows much about it, right? And people don't know much about it. So if you know how to execute trying randomly, and people also randomly try and they randomly don't try, right? So if you knew how to try better, or you knew more ways or interesting mechanics behind trying, one, you'd be forced to do it because it's unconditional, and then number two, and so you get better results, and then number two is that when you randomly do try, you'd perform much better. And you'd always be trying, actually. You'd always be trying more than you generally would be, comparatively. And when you tried a lot more, you would see much better performance. So it's not necessarily is it right or wrong, it's more about how do you execute it. Now, it actually is right. It actually will make you a better player. I can't remember my argument from that, but I made it in my previous video, and go check that out. Basically, trying is an unconditional process. It's uniquely unconditional. And then also, I can't remember my argument. It's something along the lines of when you try, it makes your mistakes transparent, and so it's easier to learn. It's like far easier to learn. That's not the argument, right? That's an effect of the argument. That's actually not the argument. but that was functionally the effect of the argument. So go check that video out. It's very interesting. And I actually think it's true. Now, it doesn't really matter because trying is unconditional. So whatever. But it was interesting because, well, okay, I can take the game more seriously. I'm actually executing on that, and I'm getting better at it. That's cool. And I can also take the gameplay more seriously, which is what I'm doing. I'm executing. I'm seeing like really, my consistency's gone up. My individuals rooms have gone up. My levels have gone up. I'm thinking way more. My speedruns are better. It's pretty dope. But I learned something today, actually. It's the whole reason I'm making this video, that really is changing a lot, because this was mind-blowing to me. And I've been in this situation before. I do 2 runs. They're both garbage. Right at the end of both of the runs, I'm highly motivated because it's the end of the run. I want to play good at least once, and I do well, right? I've done this a million times before. Well, it happened again. And usually it's not indicative of anything because I just randomly perform well because I was motivated. It's a lot easier to be motivated for 10% of the run than 90% of the run, you know? Okay, so I was more motivated, right? So what I did, I have these hand pains. Like, I have carpal tunnel, basically, and so when I play Link to the Past, it's very, very difficult to actually execute a lot of the time. I'm pretty much never playing at optimal performance. I'm playing at like, I don't know, anywhere from like 15 to 50% of my optimal performance when I play Link to the Past. And that's annoying. The thing is, I've gotten so much better, and I'm so much better at playing around it. I'm actually still capable of getting really good runs, and when I'm highly motivated, usually there's not much of a difference, right? Because speedrunning, it's less about peak gameplay and it's more about clean execution. So if you're bad at the game but you have clean execution, you're gonna get better times than someone who's good at the game. So I've actually become very good at playing around my problems, right? My hand problems. But they still affected me a lot, and it hurt, physically it hurts. So if I'm doing a 3-hour run, most of that run's garbage, right? Because it's fucking painful. So I'm not motivated. But like, okay, I have one good run. Okay, I'm motivated. You know, I'll do good. Yo, what's up, Gamer Gators? So I was talking about my good run earlier, and then I wanted to say this is interesting. So the impetus for me starting to think creatively and think realistically and logically about gameplay, it actually spawned from a tournament race. And I lost this race. And I lost the race and I was very frustrated. I was very upset with myself. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to make an effort to improve. And I realized actually that if I wanted to beat Zelda, I have to get better than him as a player, right? It's the only thing. It's the only way. No, actually beating him is irrelevant. I have to actually improve, get better as a player, and then it'll happen naturally, right? And so what I'm going to have to do is keep beating myself, get better, and then keep beating myself. I realized that, right? Now, it's interesting because that race, the last of this, I went to every effort to try my hardest in those 2 races. I went to every effort. I completely tried my hardest. So no chat, no timer, I never tilted, completely focused on the game, no raging, and I was highly focused on the gameplay, on the active gameplay, and then also nothing stupid. I didn't ever do anything stupid. I never gave up, and I got really good RG in those races, and I still lost. Through all of that, I still lost, and I got very upset. But the thing is, I had no excuses because there's no excuse for me, right? There's no excuses. Like, this is what people like to do. People like to blame RNG. They like to lose on something that they don't control, and then it's their excuse, right? Oh, I lost because of RNG, right? So that didn't happen. I had no excuses, and it's interesting because I'm arguing now that if you try your hardest, you'll improve as a player, right? Well, that's what happened back in 2016, a year ago. I tried my absolute hardest. I lost. Well, then I realized I needed to improve as a player, and over the next year and a half, I've been actively, consistently, every day improving as a player. Like, you know, it all came from that. It all came from initially. If I hadn't initially tried that hardest that day, if I never entered the tournament, I probably would not be here. I probably would not have a good time at League of Pass. I'd probably still be struggling.
Obviously, there's more factors to it, like playing the game all day, every day anyway, but that's interesting, because now I'm arguing that if you try, your skill is proportional to how much you try. Your skill is directly proportional to how much you try. Well, I tried a lot back then, and then I saw a huge improvement in my skill. Well, that's interesting. So now what I'm going to do is try my hardest every run I do, and really try my hardest. I'm finding natural ways to try hard. We'll see over the next 6 months how much I improve as a player. And I'm not even saying if I improve. I know I don't improve, but like how much, because I'm improving every day anyway. But I learned another thing actually. So I also am arguing that how seriously you take if you want to succeed in order to have success, how seriously you take something has to be more than you care about it. That'll equal success, right? So I think it's pretty interesting. I have no proof for it, and it's obviously a heuristic. It's not concrete logic. But it's pretty true. It's genuinely true, and I think that's interesting. And if you think realistically about it, in a run, so if you get nervous, you start to force stuff, right? Because that's about anxiety. You forget how to play. You become dumber, and so you start to force stuff because you want to. You want a PB. I need a PB, therefore I need to hit my PB, therefore I win. But that's the whole point. So that's what I was saying. So if you really cared about the game, though, you wouldn't go for that stupid shit. You wouldn't try to force gold splits and force time saves that don't exist, because the thing about taking something seriously is that you would assess that there's a realistic possibility, the chance of not getting what you want off RNG, right? That's how it works. That's what being serious is about. So in a marathon, for example, most people don't go for PBs in a marathon. Most people, even if they were on PB or world record pace, it was a serious run. I know a lot of people actually do for this, but it's because they don't take it very seriously. But in serious runs, they would never go for a risky strat in a marathon setting because it's too high risk of losing the run, right? And another thing is, if you're going to PB, it's dependent on RNG. Like almost any reasonable PB, it's either dependent on RNG or specific one-time tricks. So there's no reason to force small stuff that doesn't really matter that much. There's no reason to, if you're not doing well and you don't have those tricks, there's no reason to try to play good and force a PB because you're not going to PB anyway. So because you didn't get those tricks, right? So it's like you didn't get the RNG. So it's like that's somebody who's taking it more seriously. They would just be like, this is, I'm not. Of course, I would not go for that. Of course, I'll take the slow start here. And actually, it happens on a very good pace. So if you're minus 50 in the pass at a good level, if you're good at the game, what happens is that's a really fucking good run. I mean, that's really, really, really fucking good. It's pretty much a guaranteed PB if you don't make any errors, major errors. So what's going to happen is people, whenever that happens, these runs are God runs in the past. They always do happen eventually. People, they start playing very good. They get very focused, and they take the run very seriously. And they don't do any stupid shit, and then they get very good results because they stop doing stupid shit. Now, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think a lot of it is because they actually are taking it more seriously, right? And it's interesting because obviously you can't, okay, I'll just take it more seriously, therefore I will get better times. That's true, but if you're nervous, if you're anxious, you can't consciously make the decision to take it more seriously, so. And that we already know that. That was the initial point of natural gameplay, to solve anxiety back in macro natural gameplay back in June. That's my whole argument. Basically, you can't fix anxiety because it makes you dumber, right? There's no solution to anxiety, which is funny. But trying actually is a solution to anxiety because it would circumvent it, right? So, and it would circumvent it through you take it more seriously, because that's what taking something more seriously is. You're trying harder. So if you try harder, you take it more seriously. I think it would circumvent anxiety. And there's something else I learned this last run. So this Ganon's Tower I did, it was very good. It was a very good Ganon's Tower, and most of it was garbage. And I have Carble, so one, I'm not playing good. And I think this Ganon's Tower, I think it was a combination, it was a good RNG, right? It was a combination of an anomaly and also I was highly motivated, and I wasn't motivated for the rest of the run. So it's nothing, it's not like extreme. It's like a lot of luck, but it's also real. There's something else going on, because I was reading Robot Laser Beam during that run. It was a really bad run. I was plus 6 minutes going into Ganon's Tower. It's a gold against. It's tied gold against Tower. It's incredible. So I was reading Robot Laser Beam going, through the whole run, and about 1 or 2 minutes into the run, I was thinking about this Robot Laser Beam chapter, and in the chapter, the dude who's golfing, he's like a god gamer. If you don't know anything about Robot Laser Beam, it's a golf manga. It's new. It's about golf, sports manga. If you like that stuff, go read it. It's pretty good. So he's trying to do this important golf shot, and it's an all or nothing golf shot. If you get it, you win. You don't get it, you lose. So everyone's nervous. He's freaking out. Everything's freaking out, and he's going for the shot, and as he's going for the shot, guys. He's about to hit the ball, and some kid in the back says, I want to suck your dick. This is the kid says in the back. And he doesn't hit the ball. He stops before he hits the ball. He goes to the kid and he says, thank you. And it's cheesy as fuck, right? It's supposed to be, like, whatever. So it's cheesy. He says, thank you, kid, child. And says, but also, be quiet, And then, so he goes back and he concentrates and he hits the ball and he's a perfect shot and he wins. Everyone's happy. And he's like, wow, what a good sport. He's taking the game seriously. He is taking the game seriously, because if you are taking it seriously, you're not going to go yell at the kid. That's not someone who's responsible and taking something seriously. That's stupid. And he doesn't yell at the kid, right? He actually thanks the kid and then says, I appreciate your support. So, but here's the thing, right? So what noobs will do, and it's also losers, right? People who lose, ego chappers. What they'll do is they'll go for the golf ball, and then they'll hear the kid say something stupid, and then they'll fail the golf ball, and then they'll blame the kid, right? That's what most people do, and most people lose. And the reason they do that is because they can blame their loss on circumstances. They don't have to blame their loss on themselves, because that's like a random situation. That's a super random situation. It's not like that is not a typical situation, right? They argue that they got the gameplay correct, but then they just failed. They got bad RG, right? I got the gameplay was good. I just circumstantially was bad, right? This is a ego trap. This is not real because gameplay is pure. Whatever happens is gameplay, right? Gameplay is entirely itself. So if you fail, you fail. There's no excuse here. It's the same in RNG. It's the same as speedrunning. It doesn't matter why you fail. If you fail, you fail. If you break your hand, if hacks. This is why I'm so against hacks. I think hacks money has SSBM hacks is possibly one of the dumbest smashers any video gamer of all time. That's not like completely random because he blames his circumstances. He blames his losing on not on gameplay. He blames it on his hand problems. He blames all these like random factors where it's like, no, you lost in the game. You look in the game. Keep looking in the game. You lose in the game. You're not smart enough, And it's obvious if you look at top players because top players make efforts to preserve their hands, right? They make efforts to increase sustainability and stability over a long period of time. So they would never force something that would give them these hand problems that hacks has. And the hacks play the hand problems. Well, no, you're an idiot, dude. You're just bad at the game, right? Ultimately, this is a gameplay thing, right? This is a gameplay thing. So, and the reason it's a gameplay thing is because you can circumvent these problems through gameplay, and this is what Mura Yozan did. All right, this has nothing to do with the kid. The kid's irrelevant. It has nothing, and this is why I think Robot Laser Beam is okay, but I think they're gonna miss this point because most people do. I think they're gonna miss this point that it's not a personality thing; it's a gameplay thing. Because if he was bad at the game, the kid interrupted him, and he didn't get mad at the kid. He's gonna miss the golf ball shot. He's bad at the game, right? If you're good at the game and the kid interrupts you, you'll still hit the golf ball shot because you're good at the game, right? It has nothing to do with the kid, right? But the point is concentration here. This is the point of macro natural gameplay because it solves this problem. And macro natural gameplay is it's equivalent of it's trying, right? Or it leads to trying. It's entirely trying, right? And so, what is one of these natural trying aspects? Well, I was talking about taking the game seriously. Or taking the game more seriously. What are good ways to take the game more seriously? But I figured another one out. It's called concentration. And it's this chapter. It's all about concentration. Because Mura Yozan was highly concentrated on the ball when he did the golf ball shot. He's highly concentrated. And he got the perfect shot before the kid interrupted him. When he went for the second time, and this is the thing in gameplay. So in gameplay, in Link to the Past, if you do something well, it'll distract you for about 2 to 3 rooms. if you do something poorly, it'll distract you for about 2 to 3 rooms, right? So no matter what you do, if you do well or you do bad, it'll distract you. That's not good, right? And if you ever think that it distracted you, then that's also going to distract you. This isn't good. So if you do something good in Link to the Past or any speedrun or any game or anything in life, it'll actually distract you and you'll perform worse. It's actually not good to do good things by that argument, but that's not true. Because that's result based. But you can get more disastrous results. Now, this is why it doesn't actually come down to the results. It comes down to the gameplay, right? So it doesn't actually, or it doesn't come out. It doesn't come down to results like RNG. Like, you know, people always complain about RNG. People complain about Aghanim. They say I get bad RNG. I lost because of RNG. I hacked money. Everything he says is stupid. No, these people are all idiots. They're all wrong. It has nothing to do with RNG. It's all about the gameplay, right? Your gameplay doesn't circumvent RNG, and when you get on a good run and you get nervous, you're not prepared for that at all, and so then you fail. You fail your 1 out of 3 attempts. You fail, and the guy next to you, his 1 out of 3 attempts, well, he succeeds. It has nothing to do with RNG though. It's a gameplay thing. Yet when you get bad RNG, you complain about it because you never succeed. When he gets bad RNG, he's like, okay, whatever, it happens. You know? Well, of course he's in a good attitude. Of course he has a good mentality. Because he's succeeding, right? And of course you have a bad mentality. You're not succeeding. This has nothing to do with personality. This has nothing to do with mentality. It's entirely a gameplay thing. People think it's a mentality thing. They're just idiots. Whatever. Problem with it being a mentality thing is that factors like RNG and the kid and your hands, and these are not mentality things. These are real things. You play worse with your hands that are in bad condition. But the problems, the gameplay problems. That's not a mentality thing, right? But the gameplay problems are still there. So it's like, if you think it's a mentality, then you're dooming yourself. You're losing this opportunity to fix gameplay problems. Why would you do that? I have no idea. Well, Hacks Money thinks it's the right thing to do. Well, he's also not winning and he can barely play the game. So yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about mentality, join the Cyrus Club, which is also permanently in 65th place. I hope he improves, but I don't think he ever will. But yeah, so in this Ganis Tower, I went into the Ganis Tower highly concentrated. And actually I realized I don't concentrate. I never concentrate on anything. I'm never concentrated. I'm always goofing around. I'm never focused. This whole focus thing, this is actually one of my original arguments that, like, so if you're a stream or if you talk to someone who's a failure, pretty much any noob, these guys always go on about focusing. And they'll say, just focus and you win, right? And these guys are complete morons. Because if it was really that easy, you would just focus and then there would be no impetus to not focus. There'd be no impetus to focus because you would already be focused because it would be easy, right? If someone could say, hey, it's as easy as just focusing, then why aren't you focusing, right? So this argument that you need to just focus is complete bogus. It's the hallmark of a bad player. They'll say that, and unfortunately, it's always the noobs and to say that. I hate it. I'm like, you guys are complete morons. So I just ignore people when they say that. And actually, I've never heard anybody in their life who's good at a game say that. But I'm gonna say something very similar actually right now. I say just concentrate, right? Well, I'm not saying just concentrate. I'm saying find natural ways so that you are concentrating, so that over a year period you can improve at the game, right? A little different. And that's because I actually play the game and I understand how anxiety works. And I understand how focusing works, right? You don't choose to focus. Focusing is an effect. It's not an action. It's an effect of action. So you don't actually choose whether you focus or not. You are focused, or are you not? You're not focused, right? So you don't choose to focus. You choose to press the B button on the controller. You don't choose to focus, right? If you press the B button on the right frame 10 times in a row, you are focused, right? So the goal is to be focused. The goal is not to focus. To focus is myth. But concentration is sort of different. So, because similar to trying, and actually this is the whole point, part of trying is actually concentration. So if you concentrate, if you make an effort to concentrate, that's trying, right? Trying is unconditional. So this is brain dead. I mean, this is brain dead stuff. This is extremely brain dead stuff. It's obvious, right? But no one's doing it. Well, except me and a few people. And I'm like day one. This is like day one. This is the first day ever that I've really made an actual natural attempts to concentrate. But yeah, this game's tower, I was highly concentrated. And I really think this is what I'm missing. And it's interesting because after like 4 days of tryharding, I mean full tryharding, and by the full tryharding I mean taking the game more seriously, unconditional tryharding, I am, these are unconditional tryharding, taking the game seriously, these are natural tryharding methods. I learned after like 4 or 5 days, I learned what concentrating really means, right? This isn't rocket science. This isn't statistical anomaly. If I wasn't reading Robot Laser Beam, I would have somewhere else it would have occurred to me, right? It's because when you try hard, the excuses leave you. You lose your excuses, and then gameplay starts to stack up. Remember when I said the order matters as much as doing what's right? Right? It's the order as well. Well, that's the point. So if you're doing things in the wrong order, you'll never succeed. You're doing the right things, but the wrong order, so you'll never succeed. So doing the right things isn't even that hard. In fact, I think it's quite obvious. Don't rage, don't tilt, concentrate. These are obvious, right? But it's the order of them which is difficult. And so now that I'm tryharding, it automates the order, right? So it doesn't mean you have the perfect order, but what it does is it means it's like take 1,000 items, right? And you need it's one permutation. It's one order for these items, and you have to find that order, right? And you're guessing and checking. You'll never find that order. You're doomed. That's what most people are doing. I'm saying throw that into a computer algorithm and have the computer algorithm automate it. That's what trying will do to the order of items, right? It'll automate the process. And so that however long this algorithm will take, it could take a day, a week, a year, a month, it doesn't matter. Eventually it will automate this. And what happens is you find the order. And so it's obvious that I'm concentrating. It's normal. It's natural, right? Oh, of course. Obviously I'm supposed to concentrate. This is how it works, right? This is not even that difficult. So I was highly concentrated. Now I'm going to try to concentrate more, and I think that Games Tower was obviously an anomaly, and I'm obviously I'm going to go to the next run. I'm sure tomorrow will be great because I'm motivated right now, but eventually I'll get a bad. And then today was a bad day. I'll get another bad day. That's how gameplay works, right? It comes and it goes, and I'm sure I'm going to be on a really good run, and I'm going to get nervous. I'm going to fail to concentrate. I'm certain of that. That's how anxiety works, right? But I think this concentration thing for me is a step in the right direction. I think it's a step up, and it's something I was missing. I've never considered it. Honestly, at this point, I don't think I've ever concentrated on the game in a run ever in my life, except this Games Tower. I think it's the only. I've only passed for at least 10,000 hours. I don't think it's a single point. For 8 minutes of that 10,000 hours, I think I've actually concentrated on the game. Real. This is real, and my end game goal is to find natural ways to do this, so I can do it every run. Because the point is not to concentrate. If you concentrate, you will succeed. You'll do better, great. But long term, you don't actually improve as a player. My goal is to improve as a player, and so I need to take concentration and then infuse that into my my beliefs, pretty much. That needs to become a belief of mine. Which I'm pretty good at doing that. I keep predicting that. I keep coming up with ideas and then saying I will do it, and then I can do it, and then it keeps happening. The fact that I don't reset is a testament to that. The fact that I'm not tilting or raging anymore is a testament to that. The fact that unconditional tryharding, for example, natural gameplay at all. These are all dependent and determined on belief systems, and changing my brain to accept a belief system. So I keep doing it and it keeps working. So I think getting concentrating, unconditionally concentrating into my belief systems, I don't think that'll be that big of a deal. We'll see though. No idea. All I got is predictions, right? Well, then I have proof and I have facts and I have data months later. Months later, I'm sure I can tell you the ins and outs of it. But right now, all I got is predictions, and this is how I end every video. I have a prediction. We'll see what happens. 2 months later, it happens. I don't know. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. WQRE, thanks for watching, guys. And actually, guys, we're growing really fast. We're growing real fast. And not even growing, actually. A lot of these hater people, they are bleeding. They're completely bleeding out. My sub count isn't moving. It's not moving at all. It's actually changing. It's going up 20, going down 20, almost daily, because the bad subs are bleeding out. People like Ethan, people like all these trolls that follow me. Not the usual trolls. You have these people. You have the ASMR guy. He's always in my comments, right? He's just a troll. I don't know who this guy is, whatever. Maybe he's running down to his alts. That's stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about the crabs in the bucket. These are the people that follow you to keep you down, to pay attention to you, to make sure you don't succeed. Keep a watchful eye and make sure you don't succeed. And if you try to succeed, what they're gonna do is grab your crab legs, pull you down. That's what the crabs in the bucket do. They're fucked. They're doomed. They're fucked, and so they don't want you to succeed. Also, right? That's why they call it crab. So these guys are bleeding out every day. Every single day I get less of these people and more real subs. And so, like, it's fucking great. Thanks for watching my videos, guys. And, you know, I'm making mistakes, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm making mistakes out here. Go to my Twitter. You want to see mistakes, guys? Go to my Twitter. Go to my Twitch channel. Go watch my YouTube videos. I make a lot of mistakes, right? Thanks for sticking in there. Thanks for believing in me, guys. Thanks for sticking in there, watching when, you know, it gets hard. When it gets hard and I don't know what to do, or I make an error, you guys give me benefit of the doubt. You guys are keeping me in there. You believe in me, and I really appreciate that. It's been a big winning year for me, like a really big winning. Most years are not winning for me. You know, most years are painful and suffering. I can't tell you. 99.99999% of my career in the past is failing. It's failures. I have like 9 victories. Actually, about like 150 victories. 140 of that are this year alone. The other 9 were over a period of 4 years. You know, very few, and it was hard. You know, it's hard, but I'm winning so much now, and I'm about like 10% of my power, guys. And I think I can achieve this in a few months. This concentration thing is huge. The hand thing, I'm changing my posture dramatically. Like, if this is real, then I'm on a complete takeover. I'm gonna be on a complete takeover. Return of the assassination. I'm gonna change my name to Russian Sniper WQ. You know, that's gonna be the new face of the WQ. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. And we're gonna kick it high gear pretty soon. I'm gonna get the record very soon. I think. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get it soon. Like, I'm just playing way too fucking good. Like, I'm too unconditional. That's the problem. That's the problem with me not getting the record. I'm too unconditional. I'm just weighing too much, too big, and like. I'll see you later.